Stefanos Tsitsipas, a big mistake in splitting with Goran Ivanisevic. Is Stefanos Tsitsipas sabotaging his own comeback by refusing to hear the one thing he desperately needs, the hard truth? It's a painful question to ask about a player who once seemed destined for tennis immortality. Yet the ongoing saga of Stefanos Tsitsipas' career has transformed from a thrilling ascent into a perplexing and frustrating decline. The Greek star, once a fixture in the late stages of Grand Slams and a former world number 3, has found himself relegated to the role of a high-profile seed making shockingly early exits. The glory of reaching finals at the Australian Open and Roland Garros feels like a distant memory. To put his current form into perspective, his last 5 major tournament appearances have been nothing short of disastrous, failing to advance past the second round in any of them. A look at his recent Grand Slam record paints a grim picture. 2024 Wimbledon, second round, lost to Emil Ruusuvuori. 2024 US Open, first round, lost to Thanasi Kokkinakis. 2025 Australian Open, first round, lost to Alex Michelsen. 2025 French Open, second round, lost to Matteo Gigante. 2025 Wimbledon, first round, retired versus Valentin Royer. Faced with this undeniable stagnation, Tsitsipas knew a significant change was imperative. After a career-long partnership with his father Apostolos, he began experimenting with his coaching team in 2024, first bringing on Dimitris Tsatsounagali. He then made what looks like a masterstroke, hiring the legendary Goran Ivanisevic, the coaching genius behind 9 of Novak Djokovic's Grand Slam titles. But here's where the story takes a sharp, and some would say predictable, turn. After a partnership that spanned a mere 2 tournaments, Tsitsipas has already pulled the plug. This tenure was even shorter than his time with Tsatsounagali, and many analysts believe this decision could be a significant misstep for the Monaco resident in the long run. So what went wrong? While there's no official confirmation, the timeline points to one glaringly obvious factor: Ivanisevic's brand unfiltered public criticism. The Croatian legend, who spent 5 incredibly successful years in Djokovic's corner, has never been one to mince words. In a move that stunned the tennis world, he gave a brutally honest assessment of his new student. And this is the part most people miss. These weren't just generic criticisms, they were surgical strikes at the heart of the problem. He says Stefanos Tsitsipas returns to practice with Father Apostolos in Toronto. Imagine ditching a world-class coach mid-season and turning straight back to your family for guidance. That's exactly what tennis sensation Stefanos Tsitsipas did, and it's stirring up quite the buzz in the tennis world. Just days after parting ways with Goran Ivanisevic, Tsitsipas hit the practice course in Toronto with his father, Apostolos, stepping in as his mentor. It's a move that's got fans and experts alike wondering if family ties can really trump professional expertise on the court. Picture this. Under the blazing Canadian sun, Tsitsipas was hard at work on a Friday afternoon, sharing intense drills with fellow star Karen Khachanov. These two aren't strangers. They've clashed in 10 head-to-head matches on the ATP Tour, building a rivalry that's as competitive as it gets. For beginners, the ATP Tour is like the Premier League of men's professional tennis, where players compete in high-stakes events around the globe. Tsitsipas, once ranked as high as number 3 in the ATP rankings, which track players' performances over time and to determine their world standing, was focused on cross-court rallies, fine-tuning his game ahead of the tournament. But here's where it gets controversial. Tsitsipas' decision to split with Ivanisevic came just 2 days earlier, announced via a heartfelt post on social media. Ivanisevic, a former Wimbledon champion himself and known for his successful coaching stints with top players like Novak Djokovic, had only been working with Tsitsipas for a short while. In his statement, Tsitsipas shared that the collaboration was brief but intense, expressing gratitude for Ivanisevic's dedication and energy. It's a polite sign-off, but it leaves room for debate. Was this split a mutual agreement, or did deeper issues play a role? And this is the part most people miss. When Ivanisevic spoke to the media, he didn't hold back. He described their final chat as amicable, with no hard feelings. But then he dropped a bombshell opinion. The only person who can coach him is his dad, Ivanisevic said, emphasizing that Tsitsipas played his best tennis under his father's guidance because it's a family project. This idea that blood relations make for the ultimate coaching duo can be a double-edged sword in sports. On one hand, a parent might understand a player's style and motivations on a personal level, like how Michael Jordan's father was a key influence in his early career. On the other hand, it could lead to emotional complications or biased feedback that a neutral coach might avoid. Ivanisevic's take invites a counterpoint. Is family coaching always the best path, or does it sometimes hinder growth by blurring professional boundaries? Looking ahead, Tsitsipas isn't letting the drama slow him down. With a 19-13 win-loss record so far this season, tracked by the ATP's Performance Index, which helps analyze a player's form, he's seeded 23rd in the National Bank Open in Toronto. This event, presented by Rogers, is a major stop on the ATP calendar, known for its fast courts and tough competition. Tsitsipas, who reached the final here back in 2018, is gearing up for a second-round match against either Australian player Christopher O'Connell or a qualifier who's battled through the preliminary rounds. At 26 years old, he's still in his prime, and fans are eager to see if this return to his father's coaching will spark a turnaround in his performance. All in all, Tsitsipas's journey highlights the unpredictable nature of professional tennis, where coaching changes can be as dramatic as the matches themselves. But what do you think? Is going back to his dad a smart move that could reignite his fire? Or should he have stuck with a proven coach like Ivanisevic for more objective insights? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear if you agree or have a different take on this family-first approach in the high-pressure world of sports. The complex dynamics of father-son coaching in tennis, Tsitsipas and beyond. Imagine pouring your heart and soul into a career, only to realize that the very person who raised you might be the key to unlocking your potential, or the reason for your downfall. This is the paradox faced by tennis star Stefanos Tsitsipas, whose tumultuous relationship with his father, Apostolos, has become a fascinating study in the complexities of coaching. Teaser, but here's where it gets controversial. Despite the ups and downs, many experts argue that coaching from a parent can offer a unique bond that no other coach can replicate. And this is the part most people miss. When tennis legend Goran Ivanisevic, known for guiding Novak Djokovic to 12 Grand Slam titles, joined forces with Stefanos Tsitsipas in spring 2025, expectations were sky high. Tsitsipas, a two-time major finalist, experiencing a significant dip in form, seemed poised to reclaim his top 10 status. Ivanisevic, however, had one non-negotiable condition. Tsitsipas's father, Apostolos, could not be part of a coaching team. Tsitsipas, perhaps seeking a fresh start, agreed. The trial period was short-lived. Tsitsipas played 3 matches at 2 events, losing 2, and Ivanisevic criticized his preparation. Tsitsipas, in turn, hinted at wanting a family-like team dynamic. The partnership fizzled out, and Tsitsipas returned to his father's guidance, a move that, while unconventional, has its advantages. Yet, the disadvantages of coaching by a parent have also been on full display. Last year, Tsitsipas and Apostolos had an explosive fallout after a match loss to Kei Nishikori. Tsitsipas, in a fit of frustration, told his father to leave his coaching box and later blamed him for his career stagnation. The elder Tsitsipas took a step back, focusing on his younger son Pavlos, while Stefanos navigated the US Open without him. "I need to grow up and make decisions based on my gut feeling," Stefanos told reporters, acknowledging the complexities of their relationship. But just under a year later, Stefanos found himself drawn back to his father's coaching. The bond between fathers and sons in professional tennis is often fraught with tension. The constant travel, the monotony of daily training, and the pressure of defeat can strain even the most perfect coach-player dynamic. Add to this the typical teenage rebellion of young men, and it's a recipe for conflict. However, when players like Tsitsipas, Alexander Zverev, Casper Ruud, and Ben Shelton look to their support team in the stands, they often exchange a glance with their father coach, communicating volumes without words. Some players have parents as coaches, and there's a lot of arguing, Zverev once admitted. But with us, it's different. We understand each other. Apostolos Tsitsipas, a firm believer in the unique understanding he shares with his son, emphasized the importance of being present in every aspect of Stefanos' life, from meals to bedtime. When the senses are there, he's present, Apostolos said, highlighting the deep connection they share. Yet after the tumultuous breakup last year, Stefanos felt a newfound sense of control over his emotions and decisions. "I can really pinpoint what I want and what I don't want," he said, justifying his decision to part ways with Ivanisevic. Despite the initial success, Tsitsipas' performance faltered at the 2024 Grand Slam, leading him to question his coaching choice. However, he remained resolute in his belief that a less complex relationship was what he needed. When players like Casper Ruud and Christian Ruud, or Ben Shelton and Brian Shelton, share a coaching relationship with their fathers, it often feels more like a partnership than a parent-child dynamic. Christian Ruud, a former pro, sees himself more as a friend to Casper, while Brian Shelton, having coached Ben through college, now enjoys a more relaxed and supportive role. As for Stefanos Tsitsipas, the decision to return to his father's coaching may be a testament to the unique bond they share. But it also raises questions about the complexities of coaching in professional tennis. Controversial interpretation and thought-provoking question. So, is